Good evening, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks to those that have subscribed and those that have left comments. How are you all doing today? I hope you're having a really good day or an evening when you're watching this. I'm wanting to share day 3 of Junkjournaljanuary. Can you believe we're 3 days in already? The prompt for today is stained. So the natural first thing that jumped to mind was doing some coffee staining of paper, which I have done. It was a very last minute attempt. Normally you do this a few days ahead of time, but I did it over while my coffee was brewing this morning. Got some really quite strong coffee and sprayed the papers with it, and then used this piece of plastic lace to lay it down and to push the papers down into it, and left it to dry like that. And then I actually moved some of the papers and moved them onto our wooden table and flattened it down with a book. And as you can see, it gave some additional effects as well. So let's just take a look at the papers first, but then I'm actually going to also be incorporating a stained glass window type effect, as well as some stained doilies. So I'm not sure how well you can see them. I might just bring them up a bit closer. That one doesn't have much. That was sort of on one of the top sheets. This one's got more of the imprint and less of the actual sort of coffee markings. This one you can see the imprint and coffee markings as well, I hope. This is where we had the lines from the table. And then we've got some more pages here. Get to those in a seckie. This was one where I just had some white A3 paper on the table, and at one stage I'd put the lace down, but then I decided I needed to drain a bit of coffee out of the tub. And so I laid it down on the paper, and it's put a really nice print while keeping the paper pretty white. This is another great one where it was on the table, and I just love how, the even lines, but then being able to really see the great marks from the lace. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is do a little booklet. And I've already made a start on this because I just kind of had to figure out my thoughts rather than sitting on camera and umming and ahhing about what I wanted to do. So I'm wanting to incorporate this fabric stained glass window. Not really a glass, but I'm trying to sort of evoke that effect of a stained glass window. So I got some fabric. It's actually a synthetic fabric. I got it from the Reverse Art Truck here in Melbourne, which has supplies from manufacturers or all sorts of places around Melbourne that would otherwise be going to landfill but can be repurposed into artworks or other things. Lots of the schools go there, but they also allow individuals, and you just pay a very reasonable fee, $30 for a gigantic garbage bag, or if you want a smaller quantity, they'll just sort of price it by your shopping sized bag. Invariably I come away with a lot of fabrics and other bits and pieces because it's just such a good source, and there's amazing sample fabrics and other things there. But anyway, enough about that. We're here to do some journaling together. So what I have done is folded my pages, but we're going to talk about the stained glass window, so let's not get distracted, Christine. I just got myself drew around the outside of a doily, and this doily originally had its middle section in it. So I got a piece of cardboard and drew around the outside and then cut it out. I like to use my little sharp pointy stalk scissors because I find they get in really well for doing that more sort of the cutting like that. Also handy when you come to do the cutting in the middle. So I then cut around that shape, and then I put some glue on the cardboard, just some Yoo-hoo glue, and then I stretched the material over it as I stuck it down to make sure it was as tight as possible, or sort of as taut as possible across. once that had dried on, I then put some glue around the inner side and just folded over the bits of fabric. Oh, and before that I'd actually just cut around the outside of the fabric, leaving this border which I wanted to be putting over so that I didn't have any raw edges that would fray or anything here. So that's the element of my stained glass window. Then I wanted to have something that kind of evoked the, I think is it lead? No, lead light windows. What's the stuff? Lead. Is it lead that goes around the outside of the glass? And what I did was used just a white doily, and then I got my watercolor pens. This one I used some grey and then some black on. And the great thing with the doily is when you're actually using these sorts of pens over it, it doesn't actually colour up all of the surface. So you actually get the little, like the white roses on it, not getting fully coloured up. So you get that sort of patina, that aged patina to it that's really, really lovely. So as you can see, it's not fully colouring in all of it. So that's a really nice effect. So I'm going to keep that for something else. So what we're going to do, and then on the cover of it, I measured out, I just used like a lid to measure out the circle, drew it around, and then again just got my little scissors in, put a snip in the middle, and then cut around to remove the that inner circle. Because with my stained glass window, I want to be able to flip it open and to have the effect of looking through the stained glass window, which will be easier when it's all stuck down. So I reckon let's get on and do that now. Let's make sure this video doesn't go on forever with me yabbering on. So do I want to, I think I might put, yeah, I'll put this on first and then we'll do the other gluing. So already gone through another glue stick. How can that be? So I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll put it on here because it's very hard to put glue onto doilies. It gets incredibly messy. So I'm gonna put the glue here, and hopefully because it's got the cardboard underneath, it will actually go through and sort of stick to the cardboard. It's not always that easy to get glue onto these more meshy sort of fabrics, different to cottony, thicker weaves, but the ones that are mesh are a bit trickier. Just want to get enough on that my doily is going to stick down nicely and not be flipping up. Just have to make sure I'm on screen. Apologies if I was a bit off screen then. Not sure if I was. Okay, now we just want to line our doily up with the little curvy bits, scallop bits. Great. That's got a really old stained look to it as well. I like that. And so I'm not sure if you can see, yeah, the light shining through it. There you go. So originally I was thinking, oh, I'll just put it down on the page, which might have been fine if I used a lighter background one, but I wanted the black, so it did kind of evoke the stained glass window look. So that's why I was wanting to then get it onto a page that could turn. So I could have either done something in my actual journal itself, but then it prompted me because I had these nice coffee dyed papers that actually came out a lot better than I thought they would, that I would actually use those. Now before I stick it down, I just want to show you this as well. This was where I really, oops, let me get it properly on camera. I really pushed down on the plastic lace onto the fabric, and it's given almost like that, those, are they iron work ceilings or pressed iron ceilings, pressed something ceilings, and where you sort of get that raised pattern. So I just love that. So I wanted to keep that up the top, almost like a sort of a wall or a screen or something. First day back at work today after the Christmas holidays. So I think my brain is just taking a little bit of time to get back into gear. So next up I will put some glue. Let's just work out which way we're going to want to put this. I think that's meant to go that way. Great, so let's do it that way. And I'll just get rid of the other pages so we don't end up gluing something that we don't want to glue. And then let's get plenty of glue onto here, including the bits that have smushed out the side. And let's again make sure that we help to just paste down the fabric so that nothing escapes. Originally I was thinking I was going to have to sort of sew the fabric on, but then I thought, no, let's just see if we can do it with some glue. I do love doing sewing, but I realise not everyone's a mad keen fan of sewing in their junk journals, so giving you the glued option, but you could definitely, if you wanted to, you could do some sewing. And I probably will end up doing some sewing in some other parts. I think that's all we're going to need the glue stick for, so I'll put the lid on just so it doesn't dry out. Now let's just check again. Oops, hopefully we're not sticking to the page. Ooh. Oh yeah, I think the glue's meaning that this one is printing a bit across, so I'll probably have to wait till it dries before we put it in the actual journal itself, just so we don't end up with extra staining. Not that that would be a problem, would it? Because that's the whole idea. So I'm just gonna put that down the way that we want it, sort of like that. And then I'm going to just lay the hole, which is just slightly smaller. So I don't want to be able to see the cardboard. Perfect. Happy with that. Happy. I like that. Can probably just move it maybe a smidgen across. I don't know. Might not want to move now. No, I think that's going to be right. Great. That is super. And there you go. Opening it like that, but let's just get rid of that for a seckie. So I'm planning to have the white with the coffee dye on the next layer in, because I think a brighter one underneath will just help to, yeah, when you're looking at the pages. Let me just bring it up close again. Here we go. Oh, sorry, I do have artificial lights on because it's now dark outside, but hopefully that gives you enough of a sense of it. And then, yeah, looking through the book, some more nice dye bits there. I might just lay it down because you can probably see it better. Like that. And then like that. So I won't stitch it together tonight, because I think I'll just wait and see if there's anything else I want to put in it, or if I use it for another prompt as well. I even like the little tears where I managed to tear the paper when I was doing it. Nope, I'm really happy with that. I might just, so that it does stay nicely down. Actually, I think that's probably going to be fine. Yeah, I probably don't want to squash my cardboard, so I won't do that after all. So I think that's going to be my stained one. I was wondering if I would incorporate this very stained playing card somehow, because I thought I could possibly have the Queen of Diamonds showing through, so I might just keep that with this for now and then decide down the track. And then I'm thinking my cutout that I did here might actually become a little moon on the star page that I did, the starry page that I did yesterday. So I might just jump by and put that into the journal now. And in terms of which page I'm planning to put this little booklet on, I'm thinking I might do it on the sort of first full-sized page in the journal. So I'm wondering, will I do it? I don't want to close it and get inky bits, but yeah, I may well put it even down here, or would I put it so that you open it up and it's directly behind here? Decisions. We shall wait and see, but yeah, that's my envelope and postage stamp and vintage postcards inside from day one. And then yesterday is further on in the journal, somewhere back here. There we go. So that's day 2 with its starry and 4 tuck spots. So, and that's all stayed nicely adhered to the page. And then day 3 is here and done. So pleased with that. Tomorrow I'll be eagerly awaiting the start of the next Roxy Journal of Stitchery. So I like my paper crafts, but I also love to do stitching projects, and so there's a great project coming up if you want to look it up, Roxy's Journal of Stitchery on YouTube, and Rachel and Sarah will be posting videos at some stage tomorrow, or possibly probably at some stage tomorrow. Usually it's in the evening, so sometimes I don't get to see them until the next day. But whatever creative projects you've got on, whether you're doing the Journal January or other creative things, I hope they are bringing you pleasure and joy. Take care, everyone. Thanks again for stopping by, and thanks in advance for any comments or any likes or any encouragement. Take care, everyone. See you. Bye.